Yo, what's going on, my fellow gamers? God10 Killer here, and today you guys are watching some Star Wars Battlefront on Drop Zone. Now, as you can tell, we're playing the Imperials, aka the Stormtroopers, killing us some rebel scum. Now, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my overall thoughts of the beta. Now, I know I'm a little bit late, seeing as the beta has pretty much been over for about a week and some change, but now that it's really, I got time to really have it sit in my head and swim around, kind of want to give you guys my honest thoughts about the beta and how it had me feeling towards the end. Now, of course, guys, I encourage you to do the same. If you enjoyed the beta, dislike the beta, somewhere in between, you guys let me know in the comments below if you're going to buy the game, not going to buy it, waiting for a cheaper price. All that little good, juicy stuff in the comments below. But anyways, guys, let's get on to the actual topic at hand. Star Wars Battlefront. Now, there's one thing that I said on my first impressions video that I kind of wanted to elaborate on, and that was pretty much that I feel like this game kind of failed to capture the same magic that the original Star Wars Battlefront series did, meaning Star Wars Battlefront 1, 2, and Renegade Squadron for the PSP. Now, what I mean by that is, and of course, I would give you this. My taste may have changed since I've gotten older, because when Star Wars Battlefront 2 and the other ones came out, I was still relatively young. I'm only 24 right now, so I was roughly a teenager when those games actually came out. But one thing I can say about those games is that you can sit there and play the single player for hours, and it still was fun. I don't know what the heck from is. All right, it sounds like fun and from at the same time. But anyways, you can have fun for literally hours just playing the single player, and that's not to even mention the multiplayer that Star Wars Battlefront 2 had. Although I never did get to play the multiplayer, I believe it was PC only, I could be wrong. But the single player was essentially just multiplayer with bots, but there was just something about it that just made you want to keep on playing, especially with Galactic Conquest, being able to play as different factions. Like you could play as the drones, the clones, the Empire, the rebels. So you had all these different factions, and that meant different heroes and different type of vehicles. And essentially, it was sort of like Battlefield, but with Star Wars. It was just fun. Now, I will elaborate on that comment about Star Wars Battlefront being similar to Battlefield here in a minute, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that I didn't get that initial excitement that I got from Star Wars Battlefront, the Battlefront series in general, and it just didn't have that magical feeling. But with that being said, this is a game that kind of grew on me over time. When I first played it, I kind of had my thoughts like, okay, this is a game that's, it's okay, but it's not something that I necessarily need to go out and buy. I can probably wait on this game or even take a pass on this game. It's not that I thought it was horrible, but like I said, I just thought it failed to capture the magic that I was expecting from the Battlefront series. But over time, as I kept playing it and playing it, it kind of just grew on me, and I think this game kind of, at least to me anyway, and I've seen for like a few others that, it had that kind of effect where the more you played it, the more it kind of grew on you, and I started to like it a little bit more. Now, to elaborate on that comment I made about Star Wars Battlefront, about being similar to Battlefield, is that, simply put, guys, if you go back and play Battlefront 2 and then play Battlefield, I was going to say Battlefront, you will notice that it does have similarities, like it being a class-based game. It had like the 64 players. It had a conquest mode and how you enter the vehicles. It was essentially kind of like Battlefield. And as much as I would have liked for the game to have like an original Battlefield or Battlefront type of experience, I think people would complain because if the game did take that route, people will be like, oh my gosh, this game is way too similar to Battlefield. And this is something that a lot of players, including myself, wasn't hoping for, or was hoping for, that pretty much that we didn't get essentially a Battlefield reskin. And I'm glad that at least the game doesn't feel like that. It kind of feels like it's unique in its own way. And of course, with it being on a DICE engine, it may look somewhat similar as far as like movement and stuff, but of course, Star Wars Battlefront is its own entity, it's its own game. Now, again, my thoughts is that this game just kind of grew on me over time, and I think that it's not a bad game. I think obviously it's a casual game, and I don't know, quite honestly, if this is a game that I would like to spend months upon months playing multiplayer. Probably not, but it seems like the type of game that you can sit there maybe crack open a few beers with your buddies and simply have fun kicking some Rebel Scum ass. You know, from what I got from the beta, it's not nothing to really be taken seriously. It's just simply, you know, play some Star Wars and have fun with Star Wars pretty much. So my overall thoughts about this game is that even though I feel that it failed to catch the magic that the original Battlefront games had, I still think this is a fun game. Nothing like amazing and a must-have, but I think it's a pretty fun game to kick back to and play every once in a while. Now, personally, I don't think, for me, it's worth $60. I'm going to probably try to get it from a third-party retailer and get it a little bit cheaper, especially with that season pass being $50. So, now I'm going to try to get the game cheaper. But overall, I think it's a cool and fun game, just nothing amazing. But anyways, you guys let me know in the comments below, how did you feel by the time the Star Wars Battlefront beta was over? Are you going to buy it? You're not going to buy it? You're still debating it? Let me know in the comments below. But until next video, guys, take it easy. Laters.